Hey guys, today I'm going to be explaining to you HIT, aka High Intensity Training. So this system was first introduced by Mike Mentzer from Golden Era, and then he taught these principles to Dorian Yates. This system is most likely named with Dorian Yates because he was the first mass monster and 6 times consecutive Mr. Olympian. In this system you lower the volume and increase the intensity. That's the key of HIT, that's the point. I want to explain it by comparing normal system, which most people use nowadays, with HIT. What are the differences, right? There should be some differences. Let's say it is Monday and you're gonna hit chest and you will start with 3 or 4 sets of bench press and then 3 or 4 sets of dumbbell press and then do a lot of isolated movements. Cable, cross, I don't know, pectic machine, a lot of machines. So at the end of this training, you will have done more than 15 sets. That's the minimum. 15 is the minimum if you only train your chest. So you get insane pump because you have only trained your chest and you have done a lot of movements, more than 15 movements. And if you have a chest gap and it is filled by blood and muscle as if it is about to blow up, that feels good, that makes you feel good. But in HIT, that's impossible. You don't do this much volume, so there's no way you get pump as much as you used to. So you should get used to that, by the way. So I don't want to exaggerate the number, but the 15 is the least I can assume. So here's another scenario. How about push-pull legs? You know that in push day you do 3 body parts, chest, shoulder and triceps. And let's say it is Monday and you do push-pull legs. You are gonna hit chest, shoulder and triceps. So if you have the mindset that you think that you should do a lot of volumes, you are gonna do 15 sets of chest, 15 sets of shoulder and 10 sets of triceps and totally 40 sets. Can you imagine how much volume is that? And that's why people can't train under 1 hour or 50 minutes. My training session always lasts around 50 minutes, never more than 1 hour. So that's why I always enter to the gym and leaving the gym earlier from a guy who had been there before I started. I don't want to be misunderstood. I do the chest, shoulder and triceps in Monday, but less volume. I do 6 sets of chest, 3 sets of shoulder and 6 sets of triceps. That's all I do in Monday. I mean, totally in 3 body part, I do 15 sets of movement. You might start thinking about, rather than practicing 40 sets, I prefer 15 sets. Why I wouldn't? It would take less time and less energy. My friend, you think 15 is less than 40. But if you give everything you got in every single individual sets, each set, if you go 100%, you're gonna understand it's not that much easy to do that. It's a lot harder than 40 sets of movements. So your each set is consist of your full strength, either approaching to failure or going to failure. If you don't progress by using classical system and yet you do a lot of volumes, chances are, and definitely are, your sets are trash. You don't even train out. So the question is, how can I grow my back with 10 sets that I couldn't grow with 25? So you have always believed in that nothing is good unless it is much. So, but it is completely wrong. Things might get better if you do less. So you know that if you minimize the amount of sets you do in one session, you should give 100% of your power. So you do 3 body parts that are consist of 15 sets. Can you truly give everything you got to every single one of the sets you do? You think you did, but why nothing has changed on you to train harder than last time? You don't have to use this method. All the old school bodybuilders, the Mike Manser, all these people. If you truly believe, if you genuinely believe that you can train harder than last time, if you can consistently do that, you don't have to track your calories, you don't have to track anything, your sets, your repetitions. But my suggestion is to track your sets and repetitions. And this is a reference. When you hit the bench press, you should know what you did the last time. So then you can suppress your last version. So that's why it brings growth. Because if you do a lot of if you do more repetitions in a week, if you progress your repetitions or your sets, so you can consistently stimulate your muscle to make them grow. So the references are all written down on paper. The way you perform the movement, basically your form, must be same and do more reps than last time. A couple of months later of this method, if you use this method for a couple of months, you will realize how much you got stronger. Maybe you haven't progressed any, so you are aware of the situation that you haven't trained harder than last time. You wouldn't be aware of that if you didn't track your sets and reps. So this is the guidance of using this HIT system. When you do 40 sets when you do 20 sets of chest, you don't have to track anything. You are gonna stimulate your muscle anyway, so you don't have to track. But when you do less, when you do 5 or 6 sets, you should suppress your previous version, and you should do that consistently. Every single training, you should give everything you got to have the progressive overload in the system. And it is easy to do that because everything is written down on paper. So you don't have to be worried about if you have suppressed your previous weeks. So you don't have to do that. You just take a look at the paper. You see you did 2 plates and 8 repetitions. You know what you are supposed to do to grow your chest. You should do 9 with the same 2 plates. So this is my understanding on HIT, and I wanted you to learn about HIT. If the usual systems don't work for you, maybe you should use this system. So today, it is enough for today. HIT isn't like a quantum physics. It is not like an Einstein theory. It is easy to explain in one video actually. You should understand, you should internalize this system. So that causes growth. So this is my understanding. So today, it is enough for today. So see you later, guys.